And I know another concern is when we bought our house, we have a big brick fireplace with a hearth that's about, I don't know, 12 to 18 inches off the ground. That's perfect head level for a toddler to bang themselves against. And I didn't necessarily want the bumpers put across there. So talk a little bit about the scenario we came up to do that.
Sure. If I recall, you ended up getting a Hearth Gate that went around the actual hearth. So that's nice because it gives you that, the ability to still use your fireplace, especially if you enjoy using your fireplace and the kids can be around it. The gate surrounds the actual fireplace and the hearth, so then it protects them from the brick or the stone raised hearth.
As well as from the fire,
and as well as from getting into the fireplace. So so it's nice too because the gates that we use and install that are easily removed from the the hinges or whatever where we mount them. So
cool, very good. Well, what would you say is maybe something that a homeowner doesn't necessarily think about in making their house safer, but is something they really should think about?
That's a good question, and there's probably several different answers I could give to that. There's lots of things to look out for. A couple things I'd mention right away, like if you do have young children, before they start crawling, get down on your hands and knees and see what they see from their point of view. And you might be surprised what you might find as far as that things that could be dangerous. Could be like a small paper clip that you find on your carpet, or just sharp objects or choking hazard things that you wouldn't have thought of that they have access to. And the other thing is fire. Do you have a fire escape plan?
Okay.
Do you have, are you checking your smoke detectors on a regular basis, at least twice a year, changing those batteries? Change your batteries when you change your clocks. I would say that.
Okay. Yep.
If you have an upstairs, have a fire escape ladder.
Okay.
More than one, possibly too. Have an escape plan. How are you going to get out and talk about it with your spouse, or what are you going to do in case of an emergency? So.
And talking about stairs, that's another huge, trip hazard, fall hazard, whatever you will with kids. But I know, especially as a realtor, when I'm going in and showing houses, it's kind of cumbersome to figure out how those gates operate and walk in and out of them. Do you have like a simpler or updated version of the standard gate system that's maybe a little bit more user-friendly and not so cumbersome looking?
I think so. I think the gate company that I've been working with for the last 12, 13 years has been awesome, and I don't get a lot of callbacks from people once we install our gates. If you're doing a gate at the top of the stairs, make sure that gate is a mounted gate. So you want it a hardware mounted gate. You don't want a pressure gate at the top of the stairs, because as that child gets older, that pressure could get loose and that gate could go down. It's almost more dangerous having a pressure gate at the top of your stairs than no gate at all.
Okay.
So, but also put that gate at the bottom of the stairs too. So, and the pressure gate at the bottom would be okay, but so gates at tops and bottoms of the stairs is definitely something to make sure you do.
Do you ever see people doing anything around the banister? Say if they've got a two-story great room and you've got a catwalk from one end of the upstairs to the other end, and there's, people are afraid that either maybe kids are going to just throw toys over the side that they don't want to damage something on the other side, or, God forbid a kid figures out a way to get through the...
Well, some of the older homes don't, they're not meeting the code. It didn't have to meet the code of like those spindles being, I think, less than 4 inches apart or something like that. So you'll all find, gaps like this, and upstairs it's crazy. So we'll do a lot. Even in the newer homes, we'll get custom cut plexiglass to fit in those balcony openings. Or you could also consider doing a gate to block off that access to the children as well, somewhere to keep them away from that catwalk or because it is a concern. It's definitely something you want to be aware of, and throwing things through there and down there is a reason to block it off too.
Do you guys offer anything for protection around a pool?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk statistics, children under the age of 5 drowning, that's the number one thing that you should be concerned with. If you have a pool, you want multiple layers of protection. Okay. So that could be alarms, that could be an automatic pool cover, that could be overhead door locks in your home to make sure you're securing your kids in the house. But the best solution, if you'll do the research, they'll tell you, is a fence, is a self-latching, self-closing gate.
Okay.
With that fence. So if somebody accesses that pool, that gate door is going to shut behind them automatically, or if they coming in and out of it.
Okay.
So we're a big proponent of that. I've been selling and installing the Protect a Child pool fence system for the last 12, 13 years.
Oh, wow.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I know I'm a big proponent to have a pool. I grew up with a pool, and I think it's really cool. And kind of trying to convince my wife that our next house maybe should have a pool. But I want to also be conscious about if our kids are even 5 and 7 at the time. You still want to make sure.
Still want to be and then at that age, that 3 to 4 years, 5 years old, they should be starting to definitely learn how to swim at that point. So that's another big thing that you want to do too.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're going to walk over to a bathroom and talk more about some things that people who are looking to age in place, so I think the correct terminology, some things you might do to the bathroom to help create a more safe environment for them too.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Yep.